Hey folks, I'm Rainiac and welcome to a very special Doctor Who review. Not special in terms of special guests because it's the same two people that I always have.
Happy birthday, Doctor Who! Oh.
I was waiting for that. Yes, we are actually recording this on the 23rd of November.
Yeah, I was just keeping silent until Kuchiri finished because I knew he was going to shout something stupid.
We know by now that
I just knew he was going to shout something stupid. So I was just waiting for him to get it out of the system and cough, and then we will be fine.
Cough.
We know
and I gotta go robot mode now. Oh.
Yeah, but moving on from silliness, this is a very, very interesting podcast that we're going to have to do because we're talking about Face the Raven. Sarah Dillard's debut writing for the series. It's going to leave a heck of a legacy.
Damn right it is.
Yeah. So I think I'll just jump into the synopsis and I'll try not to cry.
By the way, spoiler warning, there are spoilers. If you've not seen Face the Raven, for the love of God, go see Face the Raven.
More than ever, do not listen to this until you've heard... I don't think people out there do anymore. I think they do watch the episode and then listen to this.
Should we give them like 10 seconds?
Okay, you have 10 seconds to pause this, watch the episode. That's enough time. Right, synopsis.
Close enough.
That was the fastest 10 seconds I've ever counted, but whatever. Right, so the synopsis. We begin with Clara rushing through the doors of the TARDIS. They've been on some sort of adventure, and she is breathless and obviously very excited. She's interrupted by a call from her old friend Rigsy, who has found a tattoo on the back of his neck that's slowly counting down to 0. The weird thing is, he can't remember where he got it. So the Doctor and Clara visit Rigsy at his flat, who has now settled down with a wife and baby daughter. He's no knowledge of how he got the tattoo. They discover his phone is cracked and the data for the previous day has been wiped. The Doctor takes Rigsy to the TARDIS and scans him, and determines that he's had contact with aliens in the past 24 hours. When the tattoo reaches 0, Rigsy will die. The Doctor does not believe he can help, but Clara insists that he try to help. So the three of them search for something called a trap street in London. And Rigsy eventually finds it by, I suppose, a flood of memories, is what you could call it. He passes a street.
Flashback.
Flashback. He passes a street, he suddenly gets a burst of memories he can't remember, and drops the phone, and he realises this is the street that they're looking for. So the trio enter the street, where they are greeted by, of all people, Ashildr, or me, who is the street's mayor. And the street is populated by all manner of alien species. They're disguised as humans with the help of the street's misdirection circuit, which is basically a perception filter, but for some reason they're calling it misdirection circuit now. It's the lampshades, isn't it, in the street?
Yeah, the lamp.
They maintain the misdirection. The tattoo is revealed to be a quantum shade, and Mayor Me is revealed as the person who put it on Rigsy, who is accused of murdering a two-faced alien species called a Janus, name of Anna. And the timer, it was Me's way of allowing Rigsy to say goodbye to his family, but the problem is he was retconned, so he wouldn't remember the incident. Me allows the Doctor to investigate the murder, but warns him he has to convince the aliens on the street of Rigsy's innocence. This will not be easy. One of the aliens, which I believe is a Cyberman, is convicted of theft, the punishment for which is death. In fact, the punishment for anything that breaks the peace is death. His wife offers to take the chrono lock off him, but he refuses and the Raven appears and kills him when he runs away. Clara then speaks with an alien named Rump, I think his name is Rump, who tells her the chrono lock can only be escaped in one of two ways. One, the person who puts it on removes it, or two, somebody else takes it but takes it willingly. And on with this knowledge, she willingly takes the chrono lock from Rigsy, believing that because May and Me placed her under her personal protection beforehand, this will guarantee her safety, this will keep her safe. Meanwhile, the Doctor has learned that when Rigsy killed Anna, he called for the Doctor. He starts to think that May and Me has arranged this whole thing to get him there for an unknown reason. They then speak to Anna's child, who is called Anna's son. Everyone believes it's a boy, but it's in fact a girl. And because she is the female of the species, she can use her powers to see into the past, and she confirms the Doctor's suspicions that Me orchestrated the whole thing. The Doctor goes to where Anna is being kept in a stasis pod. The Doctor then realises that she is in fact alive, and uses his TARDIS key to deactivate the machine and release her. This places a metal band on the Doctor's wrist. Then Me returns. Can I call it just Me? May and Me? Ashildr?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if for easier to call her Ashildr or Mary, so they're...
We'll call her Maya Me because this is getting confusing. Maya Me returns, confesses that the whole affair was concocted in order to trap the Doctor and get him to give up his TARDIS key, which he did when he opened the machine. She was approached by unknown forces and they coerced her into helping in order to keep the peace of the street. The band is actually a teleport bracelet. Then we get the major kicker of this episode. Maya Me tries to remove the chronolock off Rigsy and discovers that Clara's taken it. Oops. Maya Me explains that by taking the death sentence from Rigsy, Clara has changed the terms of the contract and has cut Maya Me out of the deal, so she can't remove it, Rigsy can't take it back. In short, Clara's gonna die. The Doctor threatens to expose the mayor and the trap street to the whole world unless she saves Clara, but Clara doesn't want that. She tells him to stop, she doesn't want the Doctor to avenge her, and he makes him promise that no one else will be harmed as a result of her death. We then get a heartbreaking scene where Clara bids a tearful farewell to the Doctor. She walks out into the street, faces the Raven head on, and it kills her. Stone dead. Her last words are, "Let me be brave." Back in the house, the Doctor warns Maya Me that the last message from Clara to him was intended to actually save the mayor, and he wants her to stay out of his way. He then gets teleported to goodness knows where, and that's the end of the episode. Heavy, heavy stuff. My goodness.
Clara.
Yeah.
It would have been her birthday today, too.
Oh, don't. Don't you dare. I saw that Tumblr post.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. I didn't cry, but
I may have dropped a tear.
a manly tear.
Yeah. Who the fuck cares? It was
Now,
a tear.
normally, when we get into the characters, we would talk about the Doctor first. But we're going to change it up in honour of Clara Oswald. We're going to talk about Clara first. So, gentlemen,
Clara
please.
Oswald. Clara Oswald. Well, like I said in my blog post on this thing, I had to change gears a bit. I'm normally a third-rate Jane Campbell talking about mirrors and stuff, and I get to do a little bit of that, but here I have to be a third-rate Caitlin Smith, who's the world's biggest Clara authority besides Jenna Coleman and Stephen Moffat. She knows Clara better than anyone. But yeah, Clara, if she had to die, this is a way to go out. I mean, this is how it would happen.
I prefer the original Christmas episode ending.
I think we all like that because it was her not dying. She had her ways to get out, and well, on a metatextual level, both Clara and Jenna Coleman refused that.
Yeah.
So this is how it had to be. Clara is being a mirror of the Doctor again. She's trying something doctorish. She has a clever plan to save Rigsy by taking the mark on herself, and it kills her. And what's interesting is that this is sort of an invocation of a couple of older Doctor Who episodes. I mean, whether your frame of reference is classic Who or New Who, either The Caves of Androzani or The End of Time Part 2. Because, you're think about it here for a second. Rigsy was basically Clara's companion in Flatline, right?
Yeah.
And Flatline was when Clara was the most doctorish. So we're bringing him back as a companion sort of thing, a person that Clara has barely known or traveled with, and in essence, she gives up her life to save him. Which is a lot like what happened to Perry at the end of Caves of Androzani. The Fifth Doctor, they were both poisoned. The Fifth Doctor only had enough antidote for one, so he gave the antidote to Perry, and he died and regenerated. At the end of time, Wilf, the Doctor barely really knew him. I met him in a couple of adventures in Season 4, right? And he got stuck in a radiation chamber, and the Doctor saved his life and sacrificed himself and regenerated into the 11th Doctor, right?
Yeah.
So Clara, she takes on Rigsy's thing to try and save him from death. It doesn't work, and she's condemned to die, but as the Doctor says, he's not special. He's just more durable. So Clara doesn't get up as a ginger babbling about her kidneys being purple.
Oh, God.
She's just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, the 5th and 10th Doctor knew the consequence of what they were doing.
Oh yeah, there is that.
I just jumped into it, was like, oh my god, this is what the Doctor would do, and I'm smart like him, I could do this! Yay!
Yeah. That's that.
Consequences
You are exactly right.
be damned!
You make a good point.
Well, it's not exactly really consequences be damned. It's just that she's trying to be clever like the Doctor, and that cleverness does get her killed.
Yeah, and can I just make a quick point on this?
Go ahead.
It's not even that the plan is particularly stupid.
It's not really.
It's actually quite a clever plan. It's exactly what the Doctor would do, or what she thinks the Doctor would do. The only problem is the limitations of her own biology.
And the only problem is that she doesn't know the rules of quantum shades.
Which the Doctor does know, because the second he heard that the shade got transferred, he went super grave.
Yeah.
Well, that quantum shades are really big.
While you brought up the quantum shade, it's kind of weird that the Doctor seems to know exactly what it is when he says that, there's no easy way to say to Riggsy you're going to die. So he knows what it is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know who did it at first to him.
I kind of wonder why, if the Doctor really did know about it, why didn't he say, whatever you do not mess with it?
Yeah. Well, there's an obvious answer for that, but we'll get to that later.
And just one other point I need to make regarding Clara and mirroring. Her death pose, she has her arms outstretched like a regeneration pose.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, this whole episode is basically the natural conclusion to the storyline we have where the Clara's becoming more and more like the Doctor.
And sad as it is to admit, everyone called it basically. Oh, Clara's being more like the Doctor, and she could have left, but now she hasn't, so I guess she has to die.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It's
very unfortunate.
But it is very good storytelling.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's nice to see that we've actually had...
I have a counter to that, but we could talk about that later.
That's fine. It's nice to see a very coherent, logical story arc surrounding the companion this season. And I know, Fresno, you've complained before on this that Clara hasn't had much to do in certain episodes.
Yeah. Well,
they really tried to make up for that this week.
They did. I mean, I have complained about a lot of episodes where Clara has nothing to do. This is absolutely not the case for this one.
I mean, the Doctor almost goes into the background for some of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more about Clara and Riggsy. And I don't even think she did what she did just to save Riggsy.
Would you consider this a Doctor Light episode then?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't consider it Doctor Light, because they're both there on the scene, just doing different things. It's not like... what's a good example? It's not like Under the Lake, where they're both there, but clearly Clara's taking a back seat to the Doctor. For example.
Don't you mean? Oh yeah, Under the Lake. I thought you were talking about the other one, the second one.
Well, both really, but especially in Under the Lake, Clara doesn't do much at all.
No, I mean, and I let myself down with Under the Lake because I was expecting her to be like in charge of the people in the base for the flood, and all they really did was hide in the thing they were running.
Yeah, that episode was a disappointment in general, I think. But anyway,
but a good episode.
Another thing that's important in this episode is I love the little... I mean, on the second watch it was obvious, but on first watch I loved the little nods that she was becoming too reckless.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've seen it throughout the series, but it was really rammed home here. The bit at the beginning where she's all breathless and excited, and he's saying, "You nearly got eaten." Yeah, but it was fun.
And of course, hanging out of the TARDIS.
Oh my god!
Laughing and giggling at it. I mean, okay. Considering that today, as we're recording this, is the 52nd anniversary, I rewatched Day of the Doctor because it was appropriate, and that opens with Matt Smith hanging out the TARDIS, but it's not really an adventurous thing. He's like, "Whoa, oh god!" Yeah,
it's another attempt to make Clara equal to the Doctor.
She's mirroring.
Yeah, but if I can quote what you said to me after Clara had died, and you on Skype.
Oh, yeah, you can say it. This was a heat of the moment thing.
And I quote, "Fuck the mirrors."
Fuck the mirrors. Clara is dead.
Oh, God.
So I'm not laughing at the fact that Clara is dead.
You're laughing at me.
I'm laughing at that quote.
That's fine. That's fine.
I tried so hard, by the way, to not spoil anybody, just to let everyone know, because obviously I get the episode first aired to me,
Oh yeah. I pretty much asked you if it was done, and you told me it's finished. Stay off social media.
Mm.
And wasn't I
Which-
right?
Well,
That's
to
the
be fair.
case. I got spoiled on my face. Well, I knew. Yeah, if you've been paying attention, I'm excited to go. But next week, I can't wait to talk about episode 11. Ah! I mean,
Okay, Kermit.
Wow.
Anyway. What?
Can we have some Ritalin for Kuchiri, please? What the fuck? Calm down. It's next
I've been
week.
fucking jobless for 2 weeks. I'm bored out of my mind. If you've had your bets that I was going to have the first customer.
No, I've already beaten you to it.
You did? When?
Fuck the mirrors.
Oh, no, but then technically would that be Fresno?
But I've said it again, so we've all got potty mouths. We've all got potty mouths. Continue.
Okay, anyway, but, so, they do all these interviews, and they'll say, like, Capaldi said, oh yeah, episode 10 would be Clara's last time in the TARDIS. And, like, 3 of my friends shared this in my Facebook, timeline. I'm like, really?
He didn't actually say that. If you're referring to the Graham Norton interview, he said it's the end of the line for Clara Oswald, played by Jenna Coleman.
It was another, I don't want to go look for 3 weeks and past my timeline, but it was an interview he did for like some sort of magazine.
Yeah, I know the one you mean, and he did say in that interview as well that there are some things that people just can't come back from, which, thinking about it, was probably a big hint.
Ooh, can I point out something that I remembered?
Go for it.
Okay, we didn't point this out like way back when, but you remember the Magician's Apprentice cliffhanger
Yes.
where Clara got shot by the Dalek?
Yes.
Like a day before that aired, the news broke that Jenna Coleman was leaving.
You mentioned that before. Yeah, you're right.
Did I?
I think you mentioned that with Mission's Apprentice review, but yes.
Think about how cruel that is. You know that Clara Oswald's out, and they pull this thing where she dies like a day after you read the news, but then they reverse it, and now here we are, and she actually is dead.
Yeah.
How cruel.
If they was able to keep the quiet, because like episode 10 is when she could have made it to episode 12 like other companions that leave at the end of the season.
That's the real shock, I think, is that the real shock is that she's left not at the finale, but just before it.
Yeah.
And really, she hasn't gone out to a huge world-ending conspiracy between Daleks and Cybermen and any other staple villain. She's gone out because she made a mistake.
Yeah.
In a very routine adventure, otherwise.
Pretty much.
And the mundanity of it is kind of the shocking bit.
She just died.
She's human. She made a mistake, and that's it for her. She hasn't got the...
But she's with Danny Pink now.
We hope.
Okay. Oh, here's something that someone on Something Awful pointed out. Danny's dead. Now Clara's dead. Where in the fuck is Orson Pink gonna come from now?
Oh shit.
That's a very good point.
Oh shit.
Now, it could just be as simple as they forgot about him.
That could just be. I got a plot hole here. I got a plot hole filler. Time can be rewritten.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Or we don't know how long it's been between Last Christmas, or we don't even know how long it was between season 8, episode 12, and Last Christmas. She probably, had a kid and gave it up for adoption.
No.
That would have been mentioned.
It would have been mentioned. That's not the sort of thing you just keep in the background.
You don't know.
No, maybe I think we do. I think we absolutely do in this case.
Maybe that's...
I don't see that happening. That's a kind of schlocky reveal. If it happened...
I think more likely they just don't want to bring Orson Pink back, so there's no point mentioning him. There
you go. Time can be rewritten.
Anyway, if we're not careful, we're going to spend the whole review just talking about Clara.
I wouldn't mind that.
This is her episode, though, so
It is, but we're going to talk about her legacy towards the end. Because she does leave a legacy.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Okay. Well, who else is in this episode?
Well, who else but the Doctor himself? Who has another defining moment.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, it's tied up to Clara, too, because he doesn't really do much outside of the Clara stuff.
No, he doesn't, actually, apart from saving the Two-Faced alien.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I got a kick out of that, by the way. The reference to Roman mythology. Janus, the two-faced god.
I didn't get that because until like my rewatch because I thought it was spelled Jannis.
I thought they were saying Janus, not Janus, at first. But when I watched it again,
but then I pegged it. I was like, oh, two faces. Oh shit.
Yes, it's a bit of mythology in there. I'm a mythology buff. Yeah.
Sean
like
Bean.
That. But yeah, the Doctor's defining moment, my God, is that, well, two really. It's when he's threatening to tear down the world for Maisie, and of course, the goodbye speech to Clara.
Oh, I do love the thing where he's threatening because Clara is basically just talks him down. A lot of talk has been said about how this is an anti-fridging, you know, the trope name or that.
Yeah, I know the trope.
Yeah, but it's Clara is doing everything in her power to defuse that because she's saying, "Don't you dare go on a revenge streak for me. I did this. I fucked up, and you don't do that in my name."
I love that so much.
I love it too. It's amazing.
It just defines her character.
Okay.
And that moment where it's like she does this to save everyone else, and the Doctor's like, "Well, what about me? If there was something I could do about that, I would."
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, you leave that ending feeling sorry for three people, or I did anyway. I feel sorry, obviously, for Clara because she's dead.
Yeah.
I actually feel sorry for May and me because she was coerced into this.
Oh, well, we can't talk about that.
Well, we can, but I would rather talk mostly about the Doctor. But I do feel sorry for her. And, of course, I feel most of all for the Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
He is a broken man now.
Would you say that he's...
Oh, for God's
nice.
sakes.
Do it. But I do think...
A fuckface.
But I do think it's going to change the... Well, obviously it's going to change the Doctor. He's never had a companion die in front of him like that for a very long time.
Well...
For a very long time.
Amy and Rory technically didn't die in front of him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But he saw them get ripped out of existence in front of him.
They didn't get ripped out of existence, they just got sent back in time.
Well, to him, they were ripped out of existence.
And for the convoluted reason that for some convoluted reason, he couldn't go back and visit them. The real reason being, of course,
why couldn't he land in New Jersey and send them a telegram?
Exactly. The real reason being that the two actors didn't want to return to the show.
Yeah.
Except one of them did. Briefly, but...
And had to wear a wig because she went bald and blue in space.
Are you saying that's what's going to happen to Jenna Coleman?
Oh no!
Isn't she in some sort of like Victorian movie now?
She's filming an 8-part drama about the life of Queen Victoria. Yes.
Oh, how about that?
But yeah, I think you made a good point about the Doctor. It's hard to define him apart from that last 10 minutes.
It really is.
He doesn't really have any memorable moments apart from that.
He's just sort of on autopilot, basically. He's just going through.
Because the whole point of the episode, it's
a regular. If
you don't know that Clara's leaving, and if many people did not know Clara was leaving,
I didn't.
It's meant to be a punch in the gut. It's meant to be a surprise.
I mean as soon as she took the tattoo, I pretty much pegged what was
it was still a punch in the gut. Don't get me wrong, but it was meant to be a big surprise. You'll never see this coming kind of twist.
And they too probably pegged on it because of spoilers.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that for a second?
Oh, let's talk about that, shall we?
Okay.
Let's talk about how
British Broadcasting Corporation.
Let's talk about the British Broadcasting Corporation is a bunch of idiots.
A bunch of wankers?
Wait, I still haven't seen that trailer. You said you were going to post that trailer.
Yeah, well...
He showed me.
I've showed it to Fresno. I will show it to you after this, but... take it from my... I'll just explain what happens, right? So, there were 2 trailers. I said this last week, there were 2 trailers. Do you remember how I warned everyone to not watch the TV trailer because I've been told there were massive spoilers in it?
Yep.
I'd gotten to Friday, and I'd been very, very careful to not see this trailer. I hadn't looked at it on the internet. If I thought it was coming on the TV, I switched the channel. So I come in on Friday evening, and there it is. And before I can get to the remote to change the channel, it shows 3 things.
3?
It shows that Ashildr is back.
Oh,
That's not so bad because they did actually reveal that in the pre-airing pictures.
I don't know. That is kind of bad because I didn't. Me and Kat didn't know Ashildr was going to be back, so we were just like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
It did show it on the Twitter account.
Okay, well, I didn't see it, so I was genuinely surprised.
By the way,
2 weeks ago, Kat said she was spoiled of the Ashildr coming back because she looked at the face Wikipedia
yeah,
page.
that's what she was talking about. But
so I was the only person who didn't know this.
Yeah.
do you remember when I said it's a returning character?
Okay.
That's who we meant.
Okay.
But we were keeping it hidden for you.
Thank you. I was a genuine surprise. I like it.
That's okay.
Too bad the BBC.
That was the first spoiler. It got worse from there.
Oh yeah.
Clara saying goodbye to the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, "Let me be brave" was in that trailer.
Yep.
They showed his final words in a goddamn 20-second TV teaser.
I mean, it's meant to make you think, I wonder what she's saying that for. No,
I don't usually swear like this, but what in the actual fuck?
Well, think of it this way. If this was any other show, like if this was, like anything else, like Supernatural and Sam saying that to Dean. Yeah, of course Sam might die, but he comes back. But you know, you're thinking as, oh, they're just trying to bring up drama. Nothing's going to happen to this character. I mean, it's
Clara Oswald. As if Clara Oswald
I did think that maybe the twist was going to be that the Doctor was going to die.
I mean, even as the Raven was coming, I thought that might happen too, because Clara gives him a hug. I thought maybe he took the tattoo somehow.
I think it can only be transferred. They say it can only be transferred once, and then you can't escape death.
It never mentions that. It just says that...
It just mentions that because Clara...
She changed the deal. She changed the deal. The deal with the Quantum Shade was between May and me acting as broker for Rigsley's soul.
Okay, here's what I got to say to that.
Rump said once it's transferred, you can't escape death. Though, so
yeah, you can pass it on, but you can't escape it altogether.
Here's what I got to say to that, though. I mean, and I know the reason why it is because Jenna Coleman had to leave and die, right? But we got the Doctor. He's a man who could talk himself out of a goddamn hostage situation or whatever. All Ashildr had to do was let him talk to the Quantum Shade, and he could talk Clara's way out of death, I think.
But the reason, as you say, is because she has to leave.
Oh, yeah, because she has to leave.
It's the same reason why Amy and Rory weren't just saved from time by the TARDIS. It's because they wanted to leave. There has to be, if an actor wants to leave or is written out of a show, there has to be an explanation for it.
Yeah.
Unless you Colin Baker. In which case you just regenerate into Sylvester McCoy with a wig on. But,
oh, for fuck's sake.
It had to be said.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but in this day and age, if someone is written out of a show or leaves a show, there has to be an on-screen reasoning for why they can't come back. Or why they're leaving, at least.
Well... You know, well, we do know why Colin Baker didn't want to come back, because they goddamn sacked him. Would you want to come back after that?
No, of course not. I'm just saying that's the reason why. You make good points. Why couldn't the Doctor? I mean, it wasn't just you. It was the internet of large saying, why couldn't the Doctor take the Chrono Lot? Why didn't Racing just take it back? Why didn't the Shield just go? It's gone.
Plot holes in my Doctor Who.
No, it's not plot holes. It's just an explanation for why the character played by Jenna Coleman has to leave and cannot be saved. That's all it is. But yeah, I thought the Doctor was pretty anonymous, and then those last 10 minutes he really turned on the style, and I cannot wait for next week's episode. We're not talking about the next time trailer yet, but I cannot wait for that.
But I want to talk about it.
Hold it in. If we get just a fraction of what we got at the end of that episode from Peter Capaldi, oh boy, that's going to be great.
I'm getting the feeling that we're going to be getting what we got from the end of that episode for the next 2
Oh, I so hope so. Anyway, moving on to characters. There were 2 other characters that had a rather major role to play. The first of which was the return of Riggsy, played by Jovian Wade. Jovian Wade.
Yeah, who I said was perfect casting considering Clara. Her companion from Flatline. Basically.
It's funny you say that, but I'll have a counterpoint to that, but carry on with Riggsy.
That's all I had to say. Is that
okay.
Casting.
Well, here's the weird thing. Not the weird thing, but the funny thing. Sarah Dillard...
Riggsy?
Sort of. Sarah Dillard originally wrote this script entitling it Trap Street. Mm-hmm. It was not connected to the big Season 9 arc. It was not supposed to be Clara's exit. We know that already because episodes had to be rewritten when Jenna Coleman came back or agreed to stay. She never actually left.
Okay, so you're telling me that
So it was originally Trap Street. The role was not specifically Riggsy. They wanted a returning character to contact Clara. So she had a choice of several people. They haven't said who the choices were.
Okay.
But when Riggsy was brought up, she immediately said, that's the person we should go with.
Yeah, there you go.
I went for Riggsy, and it does make sense because he was her companion in Flatline. He has a somewhat of a connection to her. However, it is strange how Riggsy suddenly has a baby daughter and a wife.
Yeah, I found that a little odd because, well, unless Kuchiri's right, and a lot of time passed between Death and Heaven and Last Christmas or whatever. Because, I mean, it's been like less.
We
than
have
years.
we have no confirmation for that.
Yeah, it's been less than a year since Flatline aired, and already he's got like a 1-year-old baby daughter. Like what?
Well, if you remember, 3 years ago, the Doctor was just over 1,000 years old, and he's now 2,000.
Well, yeah, that's because
Time passes differently for the Doctor, though.
Yeah, but
that's because he spent 200 years fucking around.
Apparently, season 7 with the Pawns was them over the course of 10 plus years.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it happens.
But my point about Riggsy is, it kind of enforces the idea that he was not originally supposed to be the companion, and they kind of had the character in the situation, and they just kind of had a template, and they just kind of pasted Riggsy over the template.
I wonder what would have happened.
Yes.
I wonder what would happen. Jen Coleman says she wanted Gus to call them.
Oh my god!
Oh, for God's sake!
Why would she want the person that tried to kill them all?
Well, no. What? I mean,
who else would have fit in that role? I suppose maybe Shona.
If
it's all part of a massive trap, wouldn't Gus be the perfect choice?
Here's a suggestion. What if it was Mabe?
Get out.
Or what if it was God? I'm blanking on her name. Courtney Woods.
The door's that way. Get out. Oh, you think I'm joking? No. I will stop this call right now. Get out.
I will turn this call around. Don't make me.
Oh,
I will turn this call around. Okay. All right. There is one scene with Riggsy I did like. It made me laugh quite a bit. It's the bit when he's being scanned.
Oh yeah.
He's saying, "Please stay absolutely still. And if you don't, there's a bag we can provide for your organs."
and afterwards, he's just like.
But again,
yeah.
Again, Riggsy kind of fades into the background because he has to in the latter half of the episode.
I don't mind that. Give Clara the means of her death, basically.
Yeah, but you can't blame Riggsy.
But there is.
You really can't.
He could have. They did film alternate ending though. So
yes, they did. You showed me a picture of this. They filmed an alternate ending. That beautiful post-credit sequence where he's graffitied up the TARDIS. Although, how did they get the TARDIS out of his flat?
Was it in his flat? No, they parked. No. They parked the TARDIS in the middle of the street after they scanned the whole area.
No, it was in his flat because they.
They did. They totally did. They were flying around in London and everything.
They took Riggsy from his flat straight into the TARDIS.
And then they went flying around London.
So where the heck did the TARDIS end up?
It was in the middle of it was in the middle of a street on the sidewalk.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
They were flying around London to check out the track.
It wasn't in his flat. You're right. Okay.
And then they landed somewhere.
But that was a beautiful post-credit sequence where he had spray painted the flower in Clara's face. And again, if you weren't tearing up before, does that suggest that perhaps that's the end of that TARDIS?
No.
Or he's not going to keep that graffiti on it, is he?
He's going to wash it off, probably. I mean,
that'd be blunt and cruel.
It'll probably just disappear as soon as the TARDIS material.
That'd be really cruel to the fan base if we have to watch that every time he lands now.
No, it'll be gone like Bad Wolf.
I suspect you're probably right. But anyway, I thought that was great. And you're right, there was an alternate take of that where his daughter and his wife were there watching him at work.
Yeah.
But that was really the only moment that Rigsy acted like Rigsy.
If you go to the Doctor Who studios now and you walk around the outside, they actually have the TARDIS on display with the paint on it.
Oh, the feels.
Oh.
The feels.
Apparently, a couple, like a day before the episode air, someone posted on Facebook that this got shared like 1,000 times.
Oh, God.
Yep. We were at Doctor Who studios, and there was graffiti all over the TARDIS.
So that would have spoiled that she was dying too. God damn it.
Yeah.
Do the BBC not want to keep anything secret?
No.
Just show us the whole season in a trailer already. God damn it.
Do the whole Netflix thing. Post all 12 episodes at once.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that might actually happen one day.
Nice.
Hey, I watched all of Jessica Jones in one day. I am perfectly happy with that.
Yeah.
You're perfectly happy with your David Tennant mind rapist, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was happy.
I have to be careful with the words or phrases I have to say. I once told a guy to screw himself once. Bit of a mess that one was.
Oh, Jesus.
I will never look at the 10th Doctor in the same way again after seeing Purple Man.
Alonso.
Or Kilgrave, or whatever he's called, but he is brilliant. He is brilliant in that series.
They kept on telling him act like the 10th Doctor. Like, be the 10th Doctor, but menacing. Oh, okay.
What a shame this is not a Jessica Jones podcast, eh? Or we could talk about this for hours.
We should talk about Doctor Who.
We could talk about this for hours, but we're not going to. But yeah, I
my chair.
I liked Rigsy coming back, even though he didn't quite act like Rigsy. And you cannot blame him for what happened to Clara.
I don't.
It's not his fault.
All Clara's fault.
No, it's not.
She made a mistake.
We will get to that when we talk about her legacy. It's not her fault either.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the other major character returning, who might be a surprise or might have not. Mayor Me.
It was only a surprise to me, but I'll just say this about Mayor Me. You really think she should read those journals more carefully, and pick up that journal about the last time she met the Doctor and have it written in great big scrawled ink. Don't trust aliens. They will betray you.
Yeah, she's learned nothing from Leandro, has she?
She really has. It's the same goddamn thing.
Although she probably didn't learn her lesson from Leandro because she didn't remember Leandro.
Oh, for God's sake. You think she would have written that down? Really?
Well, we don't know what she wrote down. We never see her diaries.
That'd be kind of cool if there was like a book series all based off of, her diaries.
I mean, I was happy to see Ashildr back. I was happy to see Ashildr back.
I was too.
It was a bit early, I thought. I thought maybe she'd turn up in the finale.
Who says she won't?
Well, maybe she still will. Who knows? But I thought it was strange to see her back. And what was she doing on this street? And then it's revealed that she's actually the mayor of it. Which kind of makes sense. If you've got a street full of warring alien factions, who better to keep the peace than an immortal?
Hey, can I say something real quick? I think I posted this in the chat already, but I'm going to say it.
Go ahead.
So the alien refugee camp, it's an interesting concept, right? So there's like Cybermen, there's some other weird aliens there. I think there was an Ood, too.
There was... do you want me to go through the species that were there? Because I know what they were there. You obviously had... the Jadoon were there.
Okay.
They were the two police officers. You had two unknown species that we haven't seen yet, a fish and rump, which was some sort of werewolf.
Fish.
Oh, is this your headcanon? Is this your headcanon, Fresno?
Oh, no.
This is my headcanon.
Oh, no. I just read what I said when I said the word fish.
So, of all these alien refugees on modern-day Earth, I think there might be a couple from a certain story set in the year 1970. A little story called The Underwater Menace.
Why is it every time you two are on, we have to reference in-jokes? Every time.
It's a trope, man. We gotta keep the tropes alive.
No, we don't. Who says?
Russell T. Davis.
Russell T. Davis says that we have to keep the tropes alive?
I don't know. Last time I said Moffat.
Anyway, Rainiac,
I think you just made that up.
How about that mayor? Anyway, Rainiac, how about that Mayor Me?
Yeah, again, I kind of feel like she wasn't originally supposed to be in this episode, and she was just kind of pasted into it.
Maybe.
Because since when the hell did Ashildr have access to a person-killing tattoo?
Since she met up with a bunch of aliens, I don't know.
I guess, but I think...
And again, consider that she's a hybrid at this point. She's part Meyer, so...
True. I was happy to see her back. I was. I kind of worry that the way the episode ended, we won't ever see her as a friend again. She may turn up as an enemy now.
Well, here's the thing. The Doctor's big speech in the Zygon version was all about learning to forgive people even when they've wronged you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the Doctor needs to practice what he preaches and forgive Ashildr.
But that's...
He doesn't really practice what he preaches.
The difference with that is that this has caused the death of his closest friend at the time. It's very hard to forgive that.
It's very hard, but maybe it'll happen.
Maybe if she shows up in the finale and does something to make up for it, maybe he'll forgive her then. Who knows?
We'll see.
The rumours that she's the next companion still abound.
Oh,
It mostly stems from an interview that Peter Capaldi gave, where he was asked, is Maisie Williams the next companion? It caught him completely off guard. And he spent a good 10 seconds sort of like just deer in the headlights and then coming up with an answer. It didn't sound convincing, so whether or not he was caught out or he was just trolling, we don't know.
Doesn't she have throwing game?
Throny game.
Yeah.
But Throny game might be ending, as Kuchiri pointed out. But or she might be leaving Throny game.
Oh.
I have no proof of that, by the way. I'm not saying massive entertainment spoilers. No, I don't know that at all. But
I don't know nothing about throwing the game. I'm sorry.
Word on the street is that either the show or her role in it will be coming to an end. Maybe coming to an end anyway.
Well, they're no longer on the books, so they're going off of an idea that George R.R. Martin told them to go with.
But
anything goes, basically.
Yeah,
basically.
But back to May and Me, I did actually feel sorry for May and Me because it was never her intention for Clara to die.
It really was.
That was never part of the trap. Yeah. And she even said no one was supposed to get hurt.
Well, except the Doctor.
Not even hurt. He was just supposed to be teleported.
Well, I don't know where. Well, we don't know where he's being teleported to, but it can't be very well good, can it?
I guess not. No, I think you have a point there. But anyway, I did feel sorry for her. Which is strange, because she's technically the villain of this episode.
Well, actually, the villain is whoever teleported the Doctor.
Yeah, and that's who's to blame for Clara's death, by the way.
Shall we make those theories now?
Whoever they are. Okay, again, another spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear speculation who we think they are, now's the time to
I kind of have my guess. I don't want to
mute the sound. I don't know if I have to bleep this out or not, but go for it.
Should I say? Well, I took a guess from Phil Sanders. I think he made a guess. It's pretty good. So you can bleep this if you like.
Yes.
Is that what we all think?
Yes, I agree. I think this is entirely the work of.
Yeah, the last time the Doctor had, going on to the next episode, the Doctor is going to be companionless, and there won't be someone to play his companion. The last time something like this happened, it was a story. So.
Oh wow, we got to bleep that entire thing.
No, I'll just bleep specific parts of it. It's okay. Anyway, that's really all there is to talk about this episode. It makes it sound like it's a bad one, doesn't it? Like it was just run of the mill. It was anything but run of the mill.
No, the entire point of the episode and the emotional core of it is Clara dying, and we've talked about Clara dying.
Yeah, so. It's a farewell to Clara.
And why don't we talk about Clara's farewell and her legacy?
Yeah, let's talk about her legacy for the show, shall we? Because I think she leaves behind one heck of a legacy.
You're goddamn right.
I think this is all over to you.
I make no bones about it. I adore Clara Oswald. She was one of my favorite companions of all of New Who, I think. She's great, and I love her. And she was really hyper-competent in Series 8, and I adored that. I adored that here was a companion that could take charge, and she had her own little narrative of darkening and showing what being the Doctor really does to somebody. And she had loss, she had grief. She went on to have adventure and take risks, and those risks got her killed. And I just adore her, and I'm going to miss her terribly, and Jenna Coleman knocked it out of the park.
I thought she was going to be the best companion ever in Snowman. I didn't like what they wrote for her in Series 7. I thought she was alright through Series 8. Whatever she did do in Series 9 was really good. However, like, I'm not the super biggest Clara Oswald fan here, I guess.
That's fine.
Fair. That's fair. But what do you think, Rainy?
Was that part of the rant, by the way, that you were mentioning?
No.
The 2-minute rant?
No.
We'll get to that later then. Well, I think that we're going to miss her. And I think the fan base is going to miss her more than they realise at this moment in time, because let's just take you back a couple of years ago when she started. She was a bit generic. She was good, but she was generic. Until it was revealed...
There were people who would argue against that. I'm not really going to make the case.
Oh, I'm not Clara hater.
She was not generic in Snowman. She was amazing in Snowman.
I'm not a Clara hater.
I know.
At all. I'm just saying, compared to her characterization in Series 8 and 9, she was a bit generic. And then the Impossible Girl happened, and people got angry that she was forever tied to the series, like the most important thing to ever happen to the series. She wasn't, by the way, and she was never treated like that. It was just... It was a way to make her important.
This is something that really gets my goat. The people getting mad that, oh, Stephen Moffat made Clara his special little snowflake. She's tied up in Time Lord history and the Doctor's history, and she stopped the Time War, and la-di-da-di-da-di-da. Come on.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, God.
It gets worse in relation to this episode, but no.
Oh.
I think she was an incredibly layered character. It still feels strange to say was and use the past tense.
I know.
I think she was an incredibly layered character. I think she was superbly acted throughout by Jenna Coleman. And I think we're going to miss that. And I'm not trying to doom the new companion. But they are going to have, whoever it is, whether it's a new character, old character, new actress or returning actress, or actor, I suppose. Doesn't have to be a lady, I suppose. Whoever it is going to have a hell of a big pair of shoes to fill.
I mean, as much as I love Clara, I'm going to give the next person a fair shot.
Of course. Much like I was prepared to give Peter Capaldi a fair shot, and look how that turned out. People were saying, oh, Jenna Coleman will never be able to live up to Karen Gillan, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, she surpassed Karen.
Time on Doctor Who is fleeting. The main actors and actresses only stay on the show for maximum 4 or 5 years, usually. Yeah. So you've got to enjoy them while you can. And I have enjoyed Clara while I can, and yes, I'm going to miss her, but the show is going to have to move on. And I'm going to have to go into my rant, I'm afraid. I was saving it for later, but this is the time.
All right, let's go.
I think we're going to have a regular section of the show where I just rant at portions of the internet. Call it Rainiac Drops the Mic or something, but anyway.
Do it.
This story, the way it ended, there were 3 types of people reacting to it.
Okay, you are getting into
You had the Clara fans who were devastated.
Hello.
That their favourite character had bought the bullet in this cruel way. And by the way, can I just point out the fact that they didn't put the scream in, they just made it silence? That was chilling. The silent scream was actually worse.
Everyone heard the scream, too.
There was no scream.
Yeah.
But no. We were all hearing it in our heads.
Yeah.
No, everyone in the street heard the scream.
Yeah.
You heard the reaction. You saw the reaction.
Oh yeah, this was a big shocking thing for them as well. So that's the first lot of people. Then you have the Clara fans who I think I probably put myself in this category, who have said that she's gone and are going to miss her, but they recognise that the show has to go on. It's not the end of the world.
You can put me in between camps 1 and 2 here.
This is not me, by the way, mocking the people that think that it is the end of the world. If you feel that strong about the character, then I'm sorry for your loss. And that's not being sarcastic.
Caitlin Smith is still reeling. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh, yeah, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, I'm definitely reeling too. I mean, I've accepted it.
I don't know how she's going to be for the next series.
Who knows?
The post-Clara series. But then you've got the third lot of people. And Jenna Coleman and Clara Oswald has not been the most popular character in Doctor Who. And there are people out there...
Special snowflake thing?
And there are people not just that, but there are people out there that really hated the character. And not only were they happy to see the back of her, they were actually applauding the fact that she had been killed off, And get this, they were mocking the people who were upset.
Hey,
To
hey,
those
guys.
people, I don't usually say this to people, but fuck you.
I'd like to personally thank you, Kuchiri, for not doing your little opener for this episode by saying "Ding dong, the witch is dead."
I was going to do that. What?
No, he's not like that.
No.
Damn.
He doesn't always like her, but he's not in camp number 3.
Okay.
God.
But if you actually take
I never
pleasure-
make fun of the fan base.
If you actually take pleasure in people being upset about this, it's just a TV show, suck it up. Yeah, fuck you.
Oh, no, I'm not like that at all. I remember, I actually like Clara. I just hated what Ryan did to her.
I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying it's you.
No, I'm just...
I'm not saying it's you. I didn't even mean it like that in general. I just thought, jokingly.
But seriously, why would you take pleasure in that?
Because you're terrible people. I don't know.
Some people do.
Do these people really think that just because they dislike something, everyone else has to dislike it as well?
I mean,
welcome to the internet.
Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the internet.
Welcome to Doctor Who critical discussion on the internet.
Yeah. Okay.
Where every episode is the worst thing ever, and stuff.
Well,
why do you think I got so
rant.
burned out? Why do you think I got so burned out at Death in Heaven?
So I guess it's also time for my rant.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on.
So I'm a guy that I love a good story. I like when a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I like when characters fulfill their, arc. So this whole season, Clara's had an arc where she's just been reckless as hell. And she's been warned multiple times by the doctor that, you gotta stop doing this. You're going to, meet a terrible fate if you keep on doing it this way, all this stuff. And lo and behold, she does. And, well, she doesn't, she learns her lesson, but she can't really, fulfill her lesson because she dies. So, that kind of, character arc, I feel like it did not really get fulfilled. I mean, I was thinking she was going to do something stupid, literally almost, destroy the world or something, realize that she can't be reckless anymore, and says, I'm done. I'm no more.
That would have been a plausible way to do it if we were going to have her leave like that. I think that's fair.
Yeah, but the thing is, because even though she was warned multiple times, stop being reckless, her being reckless led to her demise. You could say she learned her lesson, but... and they missed... My one major complaint about this episode, if I could have one major complaint about the episode...
Okay.
Go on.
What was her last words again, Rainier?
Let me be brave.
Why wasn't it run? Run, you clever boy. And remember.
Because that wouldn't have fit.
That could have fit.
No, it wouldn't.
Could have fit. I don't know. I like Let Me Be Brave better.
I respect your opinion.
Yeah. So.
And I'm not trying to say that you're wrong, but I personally disagree, because I think that exit was just about perfect for her.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, she knew the doctor was in the trap. So, I mean... Run, you clever boy. Remember, not to...
I guess, but...
I get how you're going with the whole symmetry thing.
To be honest, I think that would have upset more people, because it would have just been a continuation of the Impossible Girl arc.
Yeah.
Well, that was her last words for all her other forms. I mean...
Actually, that's a good point.
So, I have a rant. I have a mini rant. It's basically just me quoting from my own blog, a eulogy for Clara Oswald.
Go ahead.
All right, this is straight from my blog here. Clara Oswald, the supposed impossible girl, the dark mirror of the Doctor, faces death head-on. She faces the Raven, her final words being both a mantra and a plea to herself. Let me be brave. You were brave, Clara Oswald. You were the most competent and interesting companion I can remember. You took charge and control of things, turning them to your advantage. You were kind and caring, ready to put yourself in danger for others, both to help them and to excite yourself. Oh, Clara, my Clara, our Clara, we're going to miss you.
Well said.
Yep.
I'd applaud, but I'd probably do something to the microphone. But
Okay.
yeah, I fully agree with that. I think we should probably move on. to our overall thoughts about the episode before we start tearing up again. Kuchiri, I'll start with you.
Alright episode. I like the whole idea about the trap street. That was about it. Like, I wasn't quite sad with the death. I knew it was happening. I'm just more excited now for the next part.
Yeah.
The next episode.
Fresno?
Absolutely fantastic episode. Hell of a way for Clara Oswald to go. I'm going to miss her terribly. I'm going to miss Jenna Coleman terribly. And I'm eager to see what the Doctor does to get out of whatever situation he's in. Hey, you called this, Rainiac. You said that you were saying that it was going to be like a 3-part deal.
Yeah, I just had a feeling.
Well, looks like you were right.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens to the Doctor next time.
I'm not happy that I'm right because Clara's dead, but...
Well, yeah. But,
well, that does mean she made it to the series finale then, in a way.
Sort of, but when I said the finale, I meant the final episode.
That also means there was one episode this whole season that was not a 2-part or a 3-part.
When I say the finale, I meant episode 12, the final episode, but... Yeah, alright. On a technicality, she made it.
So what did you think of the episode?
Well, this was a very difficult one for me to review, as you can probably appreciate. I think the actual episode itself would have been average, like good, but average, were it not for what happened to Clara.
Oh, yeah, I can see that too. It's definitely everything but the Clara stuff is just sort of there.
And the fact that it was basically rewritten to be from a filler episode to a really important one, but the Clara thing elevates it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's going to elevate it into one of the most important episodes of the show in a long time, historically.
I mean, I can say right now, this is in my top 3 for Series 9.
I still am not prepared to do that, because there's at least 5 episodes that could be my top 3 at the moment.
Well,
the quality's just been so good, and again, it hits it again this week.
Well, yeah.
Wait. So are we going to break the rules and have the top 3 2-parters of the...
I may have to, but I don't want to do that, but it might be difficult to separate them. But anyway, I think Sarah Delore did a very good job for her first time. It was basically Diagon Alley, by the way. Kat was right. The trap street.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they handled that very well. I love the concept of the trap street and the return of the perception filter, though it wasn't called that. Yeah. And yeah, that absolute emotional gut punch of an ending.
Oh, I forgot. I was going to bring this up earlier. I forgot. So the retcon drug. Back in The Girl Who Died, the doctor brought up that she was going to meet a man named Jack Harkness.
Yeah, and the retcon...
what happened? Torchwood Series 3, Reniac?
Not just Series 3, but retcon is mentioned in all the series.
Oh.
It's an amnesia drug, and yes...
Oh, you people actually watch Torchwood? Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do when I was 18. I knew no better.
I knew what to do when I was 22, and that was keep away from Torchwood after that awful Cyberwoman episode.
To be fair, the 5-part Children of Earth was very good. Because it was so different from what had gone before. But we're not talking about Torchwood, and the whole point is that, yeah, as I say, I think this will be historically hugely significant. We'll look back at this and say, that was a big moment. Because now the Doctor is alone.
And
that's scary. That's really scary.
Would you say he's bleep, though?
Would you say he's what? God damn it!
I was trying to not make you have to edit that
I'm going to have to use the bleep so many times, I'm going to have to charge royalties. Right. We can mention it. Next time, then, we have episode 11, Heaven Sent.
Which is actually a single-handed episode, meaning it's just Capaldi.
It's just Peter Capaldi, on his own, pursued by a creepy monster in a strange castle-like world for 55 minutes. Where the hell do I sign?
Yeah. And this was actually meant to be the cheap episode to make this series that apparently turned into one of the most expensive episodes, special effect-wise.
Yeah. and I really don't want to talk anymore about it. I'm avoiding all the trailers like the plague. I'm going to avoid the pictures. I'm going to avoid it. Will you hold it in? I want to avoid all of the clips that they release, if they even release clips. I want to go into this as blind as possible. I've seen the TV trailer. Thankfully, it doesn't show much of anything, so they've finally learned their lesson, thank God. But just a word to the wise, mute. If you are subbed on Twitter to the Doctor Who official Twitter page, mute it. Don't block them, but mute it. And then that way, as long as you don't search the Doctor Who hashtag, you should not get spoiled on there. Just a word to the wise. But yeah, we've got Peter Capaldi on his own. It's going to be amazing, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
I really hope it's going to be amazing. And
So,
whatever
can we talk about it now?
next week. Because that's when it's on.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, we can talk about it next week. So join us then. And Fresno, unfortunately, has had to go. So thanks to him and to Kuchiri for joining me to talk about Face of the Raven. We hope you all enjoyed the show. And join us next week when Kuchiri is basically going to have an orgasm. And
Too late.
And we... This is a hell of an outro, by the way, guys. And we review Heaven Sent. Until then, bye for now.